Hello everyone, myself Tanvi Patel, working as Assistant Professor in Computer Engineering Department in Mahatma Gandhi Institute of Technical Education and Research Center, Navsari. Subject is Effective Technical Communication and the next unit is Etiquettes. So today our topic is Etiquettes for Foreign Business Trips. So communication over the phone require the use of non-verbal skills such as pleasing tone, proper intonation and clear articulation of words. You should be able to convey a large part of the message through your way of speaking rather than the meaning of the words alone. In the multicultural global workplace, it is important to know the norms of behavior or etiquette or special cultural group as it helps in avoiding and facing embarrassing situations that can put off client or business partners. So, this not only reflect how the other person wants to be treated at that moment but also exhibit our self-control on our own feelings and emotions. This helps in the long run to form a strengthened business relationship. Now next is etiquettes for foreign business trip. It's important to be a good guest wherever you are going. Be in another country, another state or just another city. It is very important to be a very good guest wherever you are traveling. Either it's a country, either it's a state or it's a city. Below are travel etiquettes tips for you to follow. First is learn about the place you are going. So, whenever you are traveling for a business trip, you should learn always wherever you are going that place and you should know their culture and you should know how they treat other peoples so that you can deal easily with them. Next, learn the language at least a little. You should learn their language at least a little to say good morning, hi, hello, etc. words so that you can easily conduct your meetings. And if you don't know, then you should use the Google Translator so that it can be easily converted and you know what they are going to tell you so that you can understand them easily. Next is get them early. If you can arrive a day or 2 days before your business, then you should go early and get to know the person and their language and how you can treat them. Next is keep things professional. You should keep the things professional, like you should not share all your information regarding your business deals to other people's while traveling. You should keep them professional. Next is learn how to greet people. Means you should know how you can treat the other people. You should not behave rude with them. Next is learn the geography. That is just as your host might appreciate you knowing how to speak a little of the language, they will also like knowing that you know where things are. Means from where you are, they also try to know. So let them learn something from you also. Next is remember the time. Understanding time zones is not all that's important here, although you will need to remember that too. However, it's also important to understand the way time can mean different things in different culture. So there are different time zones, so you should understand what they are mean to tell you and you should know or remember the time zone of their culture also. Praise, don't criticize the food. You should not criticize what you eat there. If you don't like it, then you should not speak a word, but you don't have to criticize. You always have to praise their food. Next is praise, don't criticize the company. Whenever you are dealing with the other person of the other company, you don't have to criticize for their country. You should always praise for their country so that the negative effect does not create, and you can deal your business deal easily with the other country. Be careful with social media. This is an extension of the previous two tips. You don't want to say anything bad about your host, and you don't want to post anything negative there. So you should be aware of your Facebook, Twitter accounts. Next is be curious. If your host start to tell you about the place you are visiting, you should be attentive and you should be curious to know about that place more and more. This will be a positive effect for your host. Keep the conversation light. You should always keep the conversation light with the other people whom you are dealing the business. You should not ask them the personal questions of their life. Only the business deal you are dealing, that should be done so that the conversation will be light. Next is dress up. The dress up which you always do for your business deal, that should be casual and should be perfect so that the first impression which is created for your deal will be good for the other company. Next is watch your hands. Means when you shake your hands with the other people, or whenever you do any hand gesture, that should be properly done. You should know that which gestures they like and which they don't like. So if they don't like, then avoid that gesture and do them properly. Next is closing the deal. Whenever you close the deal with the other people, then you should know that there is perfectly negotiation done and you can handle them perfectly in different places and close the deal. Remember to fall back home. Here, for example, you are having a child at home and you have gone for a business trip to another country. Then you should always bring something for your child so that it will be a remembered trip for you and your child also. Remember your host. At the last, whenever the business deal is being completed, you should always remember your host and try to build some relationship with them so that at any time they will be helpful to you. So these all are the travel etiquettes tips you should know. Now next is some specific tips that may help. Make some inquiry about people you are meeting before you actually see them. So you have a few area of conversation you know you will be comfortable with in advance. Read the newspaper in the hotel to keep the current local events up your sleeves for making important decisions. Open the conversation with a small compliment. Everyone likes a compliment. It could be a compliment on their clothes, their recent career success, how well an event is going, or the food you have been enjoyed. Make an effort to remember their name and use it in conversation. Again, this is an area where some prior work can be very helpful, especially when you are not efficient in remembering the names. Lastly, close the conversation gracefully. Don't just melt away from a group without excusing yourself with a positive comment such as it was pleasure meeting you. So you should always close your conversation with a graceful graceful positive comment. Thank you.